Hey guys, I'm Andrew, also known as Iron Android, and I love to talk about movies and TV shows way too much. And without being said, in today's video, I'm going to be ranking my top 10 MCU villains from the worst to the best, and I would love to hear your guys' rankings in the comments down below. In 10th place, I got Ego. He is brutally and stupid, and he literally kidnapped Peter. He killed his mother with a brain tumor that he implanted in her brain himself just so he can try to get a celestial son that he can rule the world with. I think Peter did the right thing by killing his father, even though it meant he had to give up his celestial genes. But at the end of the day, he came to the realization that Yondu was his father all along because Yondu has been there for him since day one. But other than that, I rate Ego a 5 out of 10 villain. In 9th place, I got Mysterio. He is a good villain in Far From Home, and I really do not get what this guy's main intentions were. To make every forget and to make every believe that he is a fake superhero and fight a fake threat, and then what's gonna happen when a real threat comes and he's just gonna, not show up? I will say though that I wasn't expecting him to reveal Peter Parker's identity. I will give him that. But I rate Mysterio a 5.5 out of 10 villain. In 8th place, I got Thanos. He has been teased all throughout the Infinity Saga, and when the time came, he finally did what he said he was gonna do. He wiped out half of all life in the universe, but I will say that the Avengers did put up a decent fight, and Tony even found a way to make Thanos bleed. But then he literally was brutal and terrified, and he literally sacrificed his own daughter, Gamora, just to do what he said to do, which is brutal because I would never imagine to sacrifice my own daughter. If it was up to me, I would sacrifice my daughter for her to live. But he is a medicine villain, and he treats Nebula like crap, which is why I rate him a 6 out of 10 villain. In 7th place, I have the Vulture. Vulture is an actually interesting villain because he's like one of the only villains on my list that is not truly a villain. He just felt completely wronged by the system, and I completely understand. Who wouldn't be upset if they were getting wronged by the system? He was just doing what he needs to take care of his family, and he's the only good part about Spider-Man Homecoming. But when he told Peter that if you interfere with my business again, I will kill you and everybody you love, in my mind, I thought it would play out like Peter would say that I love Liz. Does that mean you're going to kill your own daughter? And I thought Vulture would have been like, you win this round, Spider-Man. And I really enjoyed that Peter kind of rescued him instead of just letting Vulture die in the fire. But I rate Vulture a 7 out of 10 villain. In 6th place, I have Killmonger. Just like Vulture, Killmonger also feels wronged by the system, especially that his own uncle got rid of his father and his uncle just left him behind. So he feels like he has been wronged by the entire country of Wakanda and feels like he needs to do the right thing and share resources with the world so that people don't go through what he just went through. But I will say I do like that the part where Killmonger and T'Challa talk it out before Killmonger passes away. So I kind of like that. Not to mention that he literally took T'Challa's throne and beat him in a fight, which is why I rate Killmonger a 7.7 out of 10 villain. In 5th place, I got Kingpin. Kingpin is awesome and is a brutal force to be reckoned with. He's amazing, and the Daredevil TV show, he's amazing in Hawkeye, Echo, Into the Spider-Verse, but his best performance is Kingpin and the Daredevil Born Again. So he literally crushed a human skull with his bare hands. If that doesn't tell you how strong he is and how much of a force to be reckoned by him, I don't know what is. I also like that the fact that he's mayor and that the city is kind of being corrupted and falling apart because that he is mayor. And I think that is an interesting concept, and his relationship with Vanessa is amazing as well. The only reason why he's in 5th place and not higher on my list is because in Spider-Verse, he gets beaten up by Miles Morales and taken down. But I rate him a 8 out of 10 villain. In 4th place, I got the Scarlet Witch. This is a good villain because Wanda lost everything. She lost to Vision through Thanos not once, but twice. And I will say it was wrong for her to take a whole town hostage, but the fact that she is willing to take American Chava's powers and multiverse powers to go to another Earth just to be with her own kids is just crazy, and I like how it's an interesting concept to it to explore. But at the end of the day, she really thanks her time and redeems herself by taking down the temple and kind of killing herself in the process, even if she is dead, because there's a little red glare at the end, which makes us think that she might still be alive. But I rate the Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda, a 8.8 out of 10 of a villain. In third place, I have Baron Zemo. Because of the Sokovia incident, he lost his family and he blames the Avengers for it. And he knows that the Avengers are kind of like a family, but they're more like coworkers in my opinion. And literally he tears them apart and breaks the Avengers apart, which I thought was very interesting and insane. Not to mention he literally killed T'Challa's father and blamed Bucky for the murder of it. And even though he tried to take his own life, Black Widow and Black Panther got rid of that and saved him. He did go to jail, but I will say he is an awesome dancer, as we saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I rate Baron Zemo of a villain a 9.5 out of 10. In my runner-up spot, I got Loki. Loki was a tough villain to rank on my list because he was always jealous of Thor, that Thor was the golden child, and he got all the attention. But he literally found out that he was a frost giant and he was adopted. So that got him really mad at Thor and Odin, to the point where he went to Thanos, and Thanos gave him an Infinity Stone to go attack New York. Plus, I can't even tell you how many times Loki has faked his death in the MCU. But he does have a change of heart, and he does become a good guy, and he helps Thor and the Asgardians to defeat Thanos. But ultimately, he meets his demise, and Thanos crushes his neck and he dies. But there is a version of him from Endgame that escapes after the Battle of New York, and he has a great relationship with Mobius, and at the end he literally found his purpose, his glorious purpose, which is cool, and he's now sitting at the end of time holding the multiverse intact, which I thought was a great ending for him, which is why I rate Loki a 9.9 out of 10. But Loki would have been my number one villain if it wasn't for the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin is the most evil villain in the MCU, not just the MCU, but in Marvel history. He kills all the board of directors in the Raimi trilogy, and he tells Peter not to tell Harry that he killed himself, which made Harry despise Peter and Spider-Man. And then he comes back in No Way Home and kills Aunt May, and he literally almost died if it wasn't for Tobey and Andrew Garfield's versions of Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland's Peter version would have finally taken care of the Green Goblin, because early in the movie, when they are making the cure for all the villains, Peter takes the Goblin's cure and sets it to the side and says, I'm not going to fix him because he wants revenge, and I totally get it. But other than that, I rate the Green Goblin a 10 out of 10 villain, and it is the best villain in Marvel history. No doubts about that. But without being said, guys, I'm Andrew, also known as Iron Android, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single upload. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my gaming channel and my TikTok. Link will be in the descriptions for both of those things. But I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.